on to our next speaker, Mr. Bhaskar Jain. Mr. Bhaskar Jain is a computer engineer for Bharati Vidyapith and has done PGP Max from ISB. He was VP and head at Enterprise Technology, worked at Nolarity Cloud Communications. He's a founder of Turacart and also co-founder of FastKitchen. For our webinar, Mr. Bhaskar Jain would be sharing his expertise on cloud kitchens. I invite Mr. Jain to help us know more about these cloud kitchens. Yeah, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Ananya. Thank you, Ananya, and thank you, COWE, for giving me the opportunity to talk about FastKitchen and cloud kitchens and the digital food brand development. Good evening, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. So talking about cloud kitchen as a market or the concept, the delivery market has been growing, and with the last year going through COVID has been a transformational change, where we've seen that majority of the people are not able to go out, so thus they're ordering more at home, and that's where we say it's a delivery brand. So when we talk about a delivery market or a cloud kitchen, it's something which is not visible or indirect. Consumer doesn't have a direct access to them. It's either you order through internet, through or phone, but you do not go and pick it up, or you do not see that kitchen anymore physically. It's based out of a remote location, and aggregators like Swiggy and Zomato are the ones who take the orders for you and give it to you. You cook that order, process that order, and give it back to them or to your delivery team. And the consumer doesn't see you or engage with you, but they engage through your product. The experience given out is through your product. The global cloud kitchen market has been growing at a very fast rate. Over 37% has 327% across 2013 to 18, and 27% CAGR in the last 5 years. So when we talk about a cloud kitchen, I'm getting these. Yeah. So when we say why cloud kitchen, so why talk about the cloud kitchen at all, right? There is already a concept where you go and dine into a restaurant, and you have otherwise a takeaway restaurant. So within cloud kitchens as well, what happens is you have legacy brands, you have viral brands. So these legacy brands have been like, talk about Paradise, which have been existing since decades. They have a dine-in setup, and they also deliver through their own kitchens using aggregators, Swiggy and Zomato. But these brands have been built across a long period of time. They have high fixed costs. They grow slowly. They're high, their profit margins are higher, but they are also capex heavy. And it takes time to build these kind of brands. Then there are viral brands like Yellow Chili, who are backed by a celebrity. They come in, they bring in the initial set of expertise. Then the product is segmented. They have high fixed cost and heavy capex, but they are fast in scale, since people would come in for franchising. That's the way they grow. Then on the other side, you have digital brands, completely digital brands like Rebel, who have been growing exponentially. They're marketing based. They do not have any physical presence in terms of consumer engagement. They are low fixed cost because it's just the kitchen cost. They are exponentially in scale, and they are capex light. So we are working towards enabling digital food brands in the market. When we talk about a digital food brand through a cloud kitchen, we look at three different aspects of it. One is cuisine. You have to decide on a cuisine. You have to look at your capital, and you have to figure out your market. So when we talk about a cuisine, that's finding a gap, being focused in there. So I'll take you through that. So when we talk about a cuisine, let's say, there are multiple, India is a variety of cuisines. And every consumer, there is a consumer for every kind of cuisine in India. So what we talk about when a cuisine is, how do you decide on your products, and how do you position them, and how do you price them? So when you're talking about a cuisine, it's about whether it's Pan-Asian, Indian, Chinese, continental. So you have so many cuisines, which one to choose from. Our suggestion always goes through find your USP. So for an example, the brands that we work across, So they wanted to do something in continental. So we said, why not? Let's go for a gourmet sandwich. When we say find your USP, find your niche in that. So there is, when you talk about a gourmet sandwich, obviously everybody thinks of Subway, or a sandwich which is available in a 5-star. So there is 150 starting price at 150 to 200. Then there is another on the other side. There is 800 to 900 rupees of sandwich. Can we be in between somewhere? That's where the market gap lies, and that is something that we can focus on. And then we say, let's go with the focused menu in that. Have 5 veg, 5 non-veg sandwiches. Keep it small, keep it focused. So as a consumer, when they look at your menu, they're not confused. They get what they wanted, because the consumer nowadays, when you market, comes with a pre-decided factor that what exactly are they looking for. Otherwise, they would go to a multi-cuisine restaurant, which generally serves everyone's purpose. So keep it focused, keep it between 15 to 20 items. That essentially enables you to have 45 to 60 items in a menu, using combos. So developing a cuisine, the first step is to figure out your USP, find where exactly your product needs to be, how do you want to position it, and what kind of a pricing you're looking at. Keep it focused so as a consumer doesn't get lost in that menu and they can quickly decide on what they want to order. Have a lot of combos so as it offers something or the other for them. India, in digital market, people look for value meals. That's essentially combos. So you have to have a good amount of combos in there. And when you're developing a cuisine, right, then you also need an infrastructure, right? So we suggest you have a 12-month outlay on a capital structure of your for building this kitchen. So when we talk about capital expenses, that's approximately 15 lakhs in which you would cover your civil infrastructure. Whenever you rent out a place, you will pay. You have to do a lot of civil work in there. You have to get your consultant or contractor do that work. Then there is an equipment requirement, initial marketing requirement that you have to do, and initial inventory, which includes your packaging and the food inventory, the raw materials and the product. So that's just the capital expense. And digital food brand or any food brand has a gestation of 6 to 7 months. So we suggest have a monthly expense layout of approximately 1 lakh, which would include your rent, human resource costs, utilities and fuel, and inventory, and at least for a year. That you should have clearly planned across for all your food, for the first year. And the major expense heads on an operating basis are your food costs, your operating costs, which is your monthly expenses, your perpetual marketing, which would generally be 5 to 7% of your top line, and the commissions that you pay to these aggregators such as Swiggy and Zomato. Generally, they take 27% of your top line. Additionally, to think around in this is brand story. Whenever you're building a cloud kitchen, that has to go through a brand. So what I will be talking about is from the perspective of a brand is whenever you open a kitchen, you're basically creating a digital brand of food. So have your brand story, something that people can connect with, why you have created this. Your packaging should be based on your positioning of the product. It cannot be that you're giving out a gourmet sandwich in a plastic packaging. You have to have excellent packaging in that regard. Your communication to the consumer should be that allows them to connect with your brand. So these are basic tenets of the marketing that you have to follow while building this food brand or this. And the compliances that we look for, that you would require to open a cloud kitchen are FSSAI, a GST is required. Then there are local municipal requirements, basically, depending on the area that you are in, and a fire safety certification that is needed in this. Then to talk about this industry in the cloud kitchen, you can either build your cloud kitchen or you can work with cloud kitchen infrastructure companies who are existing in market to give out the complete infrastructure built to you. You just need to equip it with your equipments and appliances and keep your manpower over there and start producing the food. in this entire theory, if you look at it, while building a cloud kitchen and a digital food brand, so the summary, to summarize it, it comes at food cost comes around 40%, POS and operating cost is approximately 25 to 30%, commissions are 25 to 27%, and in totality from a cloud kitchen is the 3 to 10% margin basis. Why we say it's a low margin, but it's highly exponential. It's very fast go to market, and you can increase your footprint at a very lower cost as compared to any other industry. Though they are higher in margin, the legacy brands or the virality brands, right? They, the tech takeaway or the dine-ins, they are high in margins, but they are capex heavy in that regard. Whereas, you know, coming to my model about in that, how do we help you out in that is, we help you optimize your cloud kitchen operations. While building the food brand, we help you out in building, in optimizing your kitchen cost on a per month basis. I'm keeping it focused so as I can take more on the questions, you know, for anyone to understand more about the cloud kitchen and the food brands.
Superb, sir. Thank you so much for this detailed information. I guess the compliance and all that really helps. The question over here, I just want to check whether you'll be able to answer this. The approvals and registrations to sell and market homemade wine. So would you be able to answer this question, sir?
Sorry, alcohol.
Yeah.
I heard wine.
Wine specifically is or no?
Not clear on that.
No, right?
I don't have an answer to it.
Okay. So I just want to check with you. Is there a training required for chefs, you know, for this specific cloud kitchen, you know, how to operate, how to go about it? Do you guys also, like in your brand, do you do that? Like a training or specifically for the chefs for this cloud kitchens?
So we essentially help them out in building. They can connect with us and we can guide them through. Essentially, you know, so what exactly is a cloud kitchen? Is a kitchen without any interface to the consumer, direct consumer. So you are equipping it, you're ensuring that, you know, whatever you want to cook is getting cooked. Either you are cooking it or you're getting your chefs to cook the cuisine for you. That's how.
Okay, great.
Ananya, with your permission,
sure.
can I ask one question with Mr. Bhaskar Jain?
Sure, Madhuri.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bhaskar Jain. I would like to know, do you deal in the franchisee also? Because many of our participants would like to opt for this. So is there any module for franchisee?
So we are not. We completely do a different game where we help brands expand exponentially, right, without incurring capital expense. We help them market better. We help them grow and market themselves in a larger area without doing expenses on the capital expenses, and rather focus on marketing, doing the brand.
Thank you. Ananya, there is one more question, is there?
Yeah, there's one more question. Yeah. So Ms. Bose wants to know, can you help in upbuilding a running cloud kitchen? I guess they have one cloud kitchen. Can you help them upbuild it?
Absolutely, we can. So essentially what we do is, as Ms. Krishnan was explaining, right? Ms. Krishna was explaining that they do frozen food and everything. So what we help brands is standardize their food and enable it through multiple aggregated cloud kitchens. So anybody who has a running cloud kitchen, we would love to aggregate them and host multiple brands in there. So as they can have the more revenue generated.
Super. We have one more question. Cloud kitchen versus a home chef given on Swiggy platform, home delivering on Swiggy platform. So
right. See, home chef is a wonderful thing, right? So essentially, it's very hyper local, and food is hyper local, but home chef is highly hyper local in terms you're only catering to a society or a nearby area of a kilometer, right? And operating out of your small house kitchen is also a limitation in terms of capacity. Even if you wanted to grow, you're bound by the physical capacity limitation that you have at home. Whereas a cloud kitchen is a commercial kitchen where you're doing the commercial engagement, and you're trying to standardize things, and it helps you grow faster. So if somebody is already doing as a house chef or a home chef on Swiggy and or Zomato kind of a platform, and they have reached a level where they want to go across that 1 or 2 kilometers and expand that brand and make it a little more wider, it's better to move towards a cloud kitchen.
Okay, super. Yeah, and Krishna Datta, okay, she okay.